GunninGamerz here. We are finally back with our part 2 of our new home build. I'm so glad that many of you enjoyed last week's video. I got a lot of feedback. People said thank you so much for posting that. It's quite interesting. And all we were looking at in part 1 was just the basement floor. I wanted to start out part 2 with an actual picture of what the house will look like, a drawing anyway of what the house will look like, kind of look like when it gets done. This is a picture from the floor plan. Now those are not the garage doors that we're getting. Ours is a little bit better with like actual hardware. They call it a carriage style door, and it'll have hardware and stuff on it. Be real nice looking. There'll be front stonework like you see here. The shakes, we're going to be getting those done. That's up on the top there. Nice textured surface. There'll be a stone around the front pillar and the little overhang, and the front window does look like that. Front door is a little bit different style again. These are just random, a generated drawing for this style floor plan, but that's how it'll look. And then we'll have some nice landscaping underneath the front window, and that's again the street view. So I wanted to start out this video with some pictures. I've got about 50 some pictures to go through, so we're going to kind of flip through as quick as we can, and then when I get done with that, I've got an actual video of the house being built. And as I warned last week, this video is going to probably end up being pretty long. I'm guessing at least an hour. Hopefully I can get it under 2 hours. The videos after this will probably be within 15 to 20 minutes. I haven't obviously filmed any of them yet, but I'm assuming they won't be too long. They'll be nice quick update videos, but this is the big one where we actually went out there and stayed for 2 days at a hotel so that I could go out and film them doing the majority of actually putting up the house. This house was built in a factory. They put the walls together in a factory, and you'll see how those pieces come on the semi, and then they're assembled from there. So everything is precision cut, all the wood is kiln dried, and you don't get all that warping and buckling and everything else. Everything is broadened out in pieces. It's already wrapped with Typar so that it's protected from the rain. They slap it up, they can get the roof on very quickly, and everything is kept nice and dry, which is very important. When you see our basement here, you'll kind of understand why. This was actually the evening before they came out to put the walls up, and I was able to get out there before dark and take some pictures, and it was pouring rain for several days up until this point, and luckily the rain broke that night, but we still got a little bit of sprinkling the next day. But the good news is, since they put those walls up, we have had an entire week of dry, and now I understand that they've got the roof up, and I'll be out there tomorrow actually checking that out, probably about the time that you're seeing this video, or maybe just after. But this is the basement again that we're looking at. They went ahead and they poured the garage floor and the floor in the basement of the house. And last time what we looked at was just the foundation walls, and I for some reason took a lot of pictures of the basement. Here's a blurry one, again the garage floor. This is actually again our basement, looking from where one of the my wife's office would be, and looking across to the far corner, that's going to be where the studio is. We got the mechanical room on the right where some pipes are. There's a bathroom in the middle on the left, and the family room on the left. So just again, nice pretty cement floor. Everything, to my amazement, was nice and dry, other than the rain that was sprinkling down. There obviously wasn't like pool of water or anything, and that's a good thing. They've got the tapering already done, and the water's already going away from the foundation like it's supposed to. The last video, part 1, we had a nice swimming pool going on, but they went ahead and backfilled everything, and we lost our moat. Now I can't throw the snakes and the alligators in there. I'm very disappointed about that, but I guess it's probably better to have a dry home. But yeah, the basement floor was actually pretty nice and dry, other than the rain that was sprinkling on it. Another view there, and I did inquire about seeing if that cat was part of the deal that we would get to keep. But it's unfortunately not part of the house deal, and they said that they will be removing it and that we are not going to be able to keep that. I was hoping. Aiden was too. Another view of the basement. And there's our mechanical room. That blue pipe that you see coming in there is actually the water line coming from the street. Here's the studio side. You can see the cutout for the window. There's the water pipe. I had to snap this picture for Aiden because of the little frog that ended up on the water pipe. He loves frogs, so I thought I'd snap that. And hopefully there's no frogs in the water pipe, otherwise we're going to have some really funky tasting water. But I was quite impressed to see this water line and how big around. It's probably about double the size and diameter that the water pipe was in our Tennessee house. It was a brand new house when we bought it in 2007, and it was a just a really chintzy little PVC pipe that was coming in, and every time you ran more than 2 faucets at once, the water pressure would drop. So I'm really hoping that that's not a problem here, because this thing looks a lot more beefy than the other one. And speaking of Aiden, now I've made sure that they're going to build this house with good quality, because with these three tearing everything apart on me, we're going to need it. There's Austin on the left, Aiden in the middle, and little Ashton on the right. I'm not sure why I threw this one in there, but people are always asking about him. Here is another basement photo and a garage floor. I finally got to walk on my garage floor, and I was just imagining all the things that I'll be able to work on and fix out there. Probably not. I'm usually on the computer. There's that beautiful kitty cat. This one is actually just showing you how everything they've already tapered. They're obviously not done. All that dirt in the back between our house and the other one that they're building, that's our dirt pile, and that'll all be used to build up our foundation even more. And so you can see the water's already running away. We've just gotten so much rain, but luckily it's been dry the last week since they put everything up. And this was again the night before, and so the next morning when we showed up at 7:45 a.m., they already had this done. I was quite surprised because they said they start about 7, and they might have started a little bit earlier, but by the time we got out at 7:45 in the morning, they already had the basement walls up. And here's how they use the crane, and they're lifting in the floor pieces. Again, there'll be a video showing them lifting all these pieces in, and I'll probably have to speed it up some to get kind of a time lapse. There they are, attaching each piece as it comes in. There's one in the air. Pretty nice sized sections. And that was actually the last piece on this truck. There was a total of 3 semis to haul all of our walls and floor and basically the roof, everything on 3 semis. And here's how the second semi looked. This one contained most of our upstairs walls, actually all of our upstairs walls. There's our patio door. And that is actually the centerpiece that is going to go into the living room. The bottom of the window is 6 feet off the ground, so I'll be able to see out of it. The top is 8 feet. It is supposed to be up high so that it doesn't obstruct us from being able to put an entertainment stand or something like that. You're able to still put things in front of it without blocking that window, but I wanted it up there to let light in, as much light as we possibly could. And here they are setting the other pieces in place. Here is the patio piece and the kitchen window getting lifted off the truck and swung into place. And that is actually bathroom and a bedroom window that are getting set into place next. This was all within, I don't even know, maybe 30 minutes. Here's the entire side of the house and another bedroom window. And again, setting it in place. There it is, and they use some metal, I don't know what you want to call them, studs or supports to basically hold the pieces in place until they, of course, get all the other walls in there, just to offer some support. And it was pretty windy that day. The wind was really whipping. That crane would be real handy to have around, wouldn't it? And they've got guys downstairs in the basement that are actually, securing up everything on the floor pieces, still joining them all together, while they've got people upstairs running around, hammering down the top walls. And they work very quickly. There is our front window going into place. There it is, getting attached. And that's the pedestrian door that's going out to the garage. And they're just getting ready right here to set it down. This is a picture of all the roof pieces. They were on the third semi. So we had basement walls and floors on first semi, upstairs walls on the second, and then the roof pieces all on the third. Everything on 3 trucks. For some reason it was taking quite a while. I don't know, they had the pedestrian door to the garage kind of hanging there for a bit. They had a few things to secure up first. I guess it was time to measure here. I think they were trying to figure out which way it went. No, I'm just kidding. They had a lot of people just hustling through getting all the bits and pieces attached. And this is actually a load of our interior walls that were all in one big piece. And they lifted them right up off the truck and they set them right down into the middle of the upstairs floor. And they did the same thing right when we got there with the downstairs walls, so that all the interior walls, again, are all kiln-dried lumber in a factory. And these trucks were all covered with huge canvases that were taken off just prior to unloading the truck, so that everything stays nice and dry. And this is the pedestrian door from the garage that goes outside to the backyard. And there they are, getting it all nice and secured in place. and the side of the garage wall. And this picture here was just a very short time later. I think at this point we're probably about 3-4 hours in to the activity for the day, and they had just starting to lift the first roof pieces off. And the first one there you see coming off the truck is actually the one that goes on the front of the garage. And after about another half hour to an hour, they had this much of it done. And by this point, they had them all almost lifted in place. Here's just another shot of that same rafter going on. This is an interesting picture here I took. You can basically see our rafter, and you can notice the notch on the bottom. That's actually for the step ceiling in the master bedroom, and we did have to pay extra for that. And you can see why, because there's a lot of extra cuts that have to be made in that rafter. Instead of just coming across with nice straight board, they have to do all kinds of additional cuts to every rafter that goes across the master bedroom ceiling. And then, of course, they've got to drywall that, all the mudding, taping, things like that. So that's where the additional costs come into play. But it's kind of neat that you can see that. And finally, another view. And I think at this point, this was one of the last ones to go on. And this was actually also the last picture that I took for the first day. And we had left, again, we got there about 7:45 in the morning. We left about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe a few minutes before. That was everything that you seen in those pictures was done from 7 o'clock in the morning when they started until we left about 1 o'clock. It is just amazing how quick. So we didn't get to see them put the rafters on the garage, but we returned the next day. And this was the next morning. They had already gotten all the rafters done, and they were inside the house working on putting up the interior walls and a bunch of things we really couldn't see going on. I did not go inside the home. I wanted to, but I didn't want to get in their way because they were really still hustling through there. Parts of it might not have been safe without the hard hat, and I didn't want to bother the guys, so we took a few pictures from around the outside of the home. And you can also notice on the driveway there, or what I call the driveway in front of the third stall, that is actually the decking material that goes on the roof. And this is the back view. Again, we've got the patio door on the right, kitchen window next to the left, along with the bathroom, and then another bedroom window on the very left. Studio is downstairs there on the left-hand side, but they've got the tar paper that they still had to cut out and set the window in place. And there I was just trying to peek inside and get a little glimpse at the basement as much as I could. And you couldn't really see much, but I did get a little bit more with the video camera. I wanted to see the studio so bad. And this is the last picture that I'm going to show in the picture portion of the video. I've got two more for you at the end. But this is the other side of the house where you can see one of the bedroom windows, and you can see the decking material for the roof laying there as well. Well, with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the picture portion, but I know you came for the video part, so let's go ahead and jump in and check that out. that'll be it for now, folks. But before we go, I wanted to share this very last picture with you. This is the last piece to go in place, and again, this picture's from the very next day, from when the main building part happened. So they're placing the little roof line piece right above the entryway, and now I understand that they got the decking on the roof, and they may have the shingles up already. So I'll find out here this coming weekend. Part 3 will be coming at you here real soon, within a few days to a week after part 2. I'll be making these videos every week. And lastly, I want to thank all of our supporters on Twitch and YouTube for watching those videos. Don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you'd like to leave a comment on the video, go right ahead and do that. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll be seeing you next time. Till then, take care.